The cleaner's trembling hands clutched the old mop handle as if it were her only anchor. The air inside the grand office building was cold, but not as cold as the silence that fell when the manager raised his voice. "Maria, this is the last straw. You're dismissed." His words cut through the room like a blade, and the group of employees who had gathered turned to watch. Some looked away in discomfort, others whispered behind their hands, and a few smirked, secretly relieved that it wasn't them in the spotlight of humiliation. Maria felt her knees weaken. She had been working here for years, quietly cleaning the floors, scrubbing tables, and tidying up after people who barely noticed her. She was invisible most days, except now, when her dismissal was being announced in front of everyone like a public spectacle. She hadn't stolen, hadn't done anything wrong. A glass vase had slipped from her tired hands and shattered earlier, and that had been enough for the manager, a man who never liked her, to finally push her out. She lowered her head, swallowing her tears, clutching her small bag as though she could hide inside it. But in the corner of the room, standing silently with wide eyes, was someone who noticed her. Elena, the daughter of the company's owner, the millionaire himself, had seen everything. She wasn't dressed like the others in power suits. She wore a simple dress, her hair tied in a loose ponytail. Many in the office didn't even realize who she was. They saw her as the quiet intern who came occasionally, not the heir to the empire. And in that moment, her heart ached for the woman everyone was willing to discard without a thought. Elena stepped forward, her voice steady though her hands trembled slightly. "Excuse me," she said, and every head turned toward her. The manager froze, not expecting her to intervene. "Why are you humiliating her in front of everyone? She's worked here longer than half the people in this room." The manager shifted uncomfortably. "Miss Elena, with respect, she broke company property and—" She dropped a vase. Elena cut him off, her eyes burning with emotion. "A vase can be replaced. But her dignity cannot. Do you realize how cruel it is to dismiss someone in front of an audience? Do you realize she has a family who depends on her? Do you even know her story?" The room was silent now. Even those who had been whispering looked down at their shoes. Maria's hands shook as she tried to hold back tears. She had not expected anyone, let alone the millionaire's daughter, to defend her. Elena walked closer to Maria, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Please, tell me," she said softly, her voice carrying across the room. "Do you have children?" Maria's lips quivered. I have two. My son is sick, and I work nights to pay for his medicine. My daughter, she studies hard, she wants to become a teacher. I do everything I can, but sometimes I get tired." Her voice cracked, and the pain in her words was undeniable. The employees who had been smirking now felt their chests tighten with guilt. Elena blinked back tears. She looked at the manager again. "And you want to fire her, for this?" The manager had no words. His confidence had melted into shame. Elena straightened her back. "Not only will Maria stay, she will be promoted. From today, she will not just clean these halls. She will supervise and manage the cleaning staff. And her salary will be doubled." Gasps filled the room. Maria's knees buckled, and she nearly fell before Elena caught her arm. "No, miss, please, you don't have to," she whispered, her voice shaking. Elena smiled, her eyes glistening. "Yes, I do. Because people like you are the foundation of everything we take for granted. You care for this place more than most, and you deserve respect. My father built this company on values, not cruelty. If anyone has forgotten that, then I will remind them." The employees began clapping, first softly, then louder, until the entire office filled with applause. Maria wept openly, her tears now falling not from shame, but from relief. For the first time in years, she felt seen, not as a cleaner, but as a human being worthy of dignity. Later that evening, when Elena's father, the millionaire CEO, heard of what his daughter had done, he called her into his office. He was a stern man, rarely showing emotion, but that day, he looked at her with pride. "You did something incredible, Elena," he said quietly. "You reminded everyone of the values I feared they had forgotten. One day, when this company is yours, I'll know it's in the right hands." Maria never forgot that day. She went home and hugged her children tighter than ever, telling them that kindness still existed in the world. And in the office, people began treating her with respect. No longer invisible, no longer the target of jokes, she stood taller with every passing day. And for those who witnessed it, the memory of Elena's courage lived on. It wasn't the millions her father had made, nor the glass towers they worked in, that made people admire her. It was her heart, the way she chose to see someone when everyone else looked away. Friends, if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that a small act of compassion can change a life, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every story here is meant to inspire you, to remind you that kindness, courage, and respect are worth more than gold. Stay with us, because the next story might be the one that changes the way you see the world.